Why we get déjà vu? Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly stopped? Not because something scared you, but because you've already lived this exact moment. The same people, the same words, the same feeling. For a few impossible seconds, you're convinced you've been here before. Then, it's gone. Most people brush it off. Some believe it's proof of past lives. Others think it's evidence that we're living in a simulation. Some even believe it's a glitch in reality. But the truth might be even stranger. Because according to neuroscience, déjà vu may actually be your brain catching its own mistake. And by the end of this video, you'll never experience déjà vu the same way again. Nearly everyone experiences déjà vu at least once. Some people feel it only a few times in their lives. Others experience it several times every month. And strangely, it happens most often to younger people, not older ones, which is the opposite of what most people expect. What's even stranger, scientists still don't completely understand it. Think about that. We understand how to send spacecraft across the solar system. We can map the human genome. We can even use artificial intelligence to create entire conversations. Yet one of the strangest experiences almost every human has is still partly a mystery. Imagine this. You're having a completely ordinary conversation. Someone laughs. You look out the window. A car drives by. Then, your brain suddenly whispers, "You've done this before." Not yesterday, not last week, long before. Every detail feels familiar, even though you know it can't possibly be. That's what makes déjà vu so unsettling. Your logic says, this is impossible. But your brain insists, this already happened. For a brief moment, logic loses, and feeling wins. Because it's so strange. People have invented incredible explanations. Some believe it's a memory from a past life. Others think it's proof that time isn't linear. Some believe we've jumped between alternate universes. Movies love these ideas. They're exciting, they're mysterious. But science offers an explanation that's just as fascinating. Because the real mystery isn't reality, it's memory. Your brain is constantly doing two jobs. First, it's experiencing the present. Second, it's comparing the present to everything you've ever experienced before. Imagine working in a giant library. Every second, millions of new books arrive. Your job is to decide, have I read this before? Normally, your brain answers instantly. New experience, new memory, old experience. Recognize it. Simple. But sometimes, those two systems become slightly out of sync. For a tiny fraction of a second, your brain accidentally labels something brand new as something already stored. Nothing actually repeated. Nothing supernatural happened. Your brain simply stamped the wrong label on the experience. Instead of saying new, it accidentally said already known. And suddenly, the impossible feels real. Think of your brain like a computer. Imagine clicking save, but instead, the computer opens an old file. You know it's the wrong one, yet for a second, everything looks familiar. That's essentially what researchers believe happens during déjà vu. It's not that you're remembering the moment, it's that the feeling of familiarity arrives before the memory system checks whether it's actually true. In other words, your emotions speak first, your logic catches up later. That delay might last less than 2 seconds. But those 2 seconds feel unforgettable. Here's something most people don't know. People who travel often experience more déjà vu. So do people who learn new skills, people who explore unfamiliar places. Why? Because their brains are constantly comparing new experiences with old memories. The more experiences you collect, the more opportunities your brain has to accidentally confuse familiarity with reality. Stress, lack of sleep, and mental fatigue can also increase the chances. Your brain becomes slightly less efficient. Not broken, just overloaded. And tiny mistakes become more likely. But here's what I find most fascinating. Déjà vu reminds us that we don't experience reality directly. We experience our brain's interpretation of reality. Everything you see, everything you hear, Everything you remember passes through billions of neurons before it reaches your conscious mind. Most of the time, your brain gets it right. Sometimes, it doesn't. And for one brief moment, you catch your brain making a mistake. Not a dangerous one, just enough to remind you that your mind isn't a perfect recorder. It's a storyteller. So, the next time you experience déjà vu, don't panic. Don't assume you've predicted the future. Don't assume reality is broken. Instead, remember this. For one tiny moment, you witnessed your brain trying to organize reality and accidentally convincing itself that the present was already the past. And maybe that's even more incredible because it reminds us that the most mysterious thing in the universe isn't time, it isn't reality, it isn't the future. It's the 3-pound organ inside your head that creates your entire world. Comment below, what's the strongest déjà vu you've ever experienced? Did it last just a second, or did it completely stop you in your tracks? If you enjoyed this journey into the human mind, subscribe to LTH, Let's Talk Humans, where we explore the fascinating psychology, neuroscience, and hidden behaviors that make us human. Real topics, real people, real growth.